When she's probably around 2 years old is when I noticed like a little bit of like a little lift, like almost she was like starting to go on her toes.
Slowly I go up a little more so it didn't really hurt. But it depends how far. Like all the way down, yeah, I feel a really like big stretch in the back of my calf. And I couldn't even like stand flat. I mean, I kind of could walk flat, but I couldn't stand at all.
I'm Kylie.
My name's Blair.
Blair is in 4th grade, and
I'm 9 years old.
Yep. And then Blair, different sports that she likes to do is
Track, gymnastics, and I think that would be it. Sometimes I like basketball.
So when she was 2, that's when I noticed her walking up on her toes some. And then it started to get a little bit worse, and that's when I had a follow-up appointment at the pediatrician, and that's when I mentioned it to them, and she said it was common in kids 2 to 3 years old, and that she'll just outgrow it in time, like it's nothing to worry about. So I didn't think too much of it at the time, and then every year that passed, it only like progressed higher on her toes and then higher, to the point where people would be like, why is she walking on? It was noticeable to other people then too. And then I brought it to their attention again, and it was more, something like, you could do physical therapy if you want, but there's a good chance by 6 that their thing was that she would still outgrow it. So I just kind of didn't think too serious into it at the time, just hoping that she would outgrow it and just go naturally down flat. And then 6 rolled around and she was still on her toes. But yeah, there's a few things, when it came to doing different activities, like we couldn't, like when we wanted to roller skate, how do you do it on your toe? So there would be definitely things that would be challenges, and
it was hard to get into it.
Yeah.
It hurted.
Her heel was always up, so this part needed to be wider.
So then it had to break in, so it took a while for it to actually break into tippy toe length and stuff.
Are you still looking for doctors, or did you guys?
Yeah, so I started physical therapy, and then we did the braces where she would wear them to school. And then it just, when you would take them off, she just still would.
Went back up.
A little, but she would just go back up. It wasn't correcting it though, and it was painful.
After an hour, all day. Then it just went back up easily.
That was like super uncomfortable, and I think frustrating for her too, because it just wasn't like helping, in her opinion, and mine too. And then we
went to another place.
We did go to we heard that a tongue tie could be correlated to tippy toe walking. So we did see, it was like a chiropractor / someone that's like, I forgot the exact word, but specialized in like correcting like tongue ties and different things like that.
He corrected his son.
So we did start going to him, which was in Schererville, Indiana. And there was like some physical therapy type there too, where they were like doing some exercises with her and stretching. But overall, I just felt like we were doing it all for nothing.
Yeah.
It was like almost exhausting. We're like, it's not getting better. So we did look up surgeons that could do that procedure. And that's when we came across Dr. Jarman. Yeah. And he looked online, and I'm like, wow, this guy looks like he's like really well known and a really good person that could correct the tippy toe walking, and was super excited to see like one of the number 1 like in the country was located in Chandler, Arizona. So we met what we call the made appointment, and I think right away he was like, like, wow, like this is an extreme case. Like you could just see she was so high up at this point, where she could not go flat, but right away he knew like exactly what needed to be done and told us, and we were just like almost taken back, because anywhere else I've been has been like, okay, let's take an x-ray, and I thought it was gonna be the same process where they're like, let's do physical therapy and try this, but he looked at the x-ray and came back and was like, okay, so this was never gonna get corrected without surgery. It was structural without, basically we were wasting our time on everything else. Nothing could correct it unless she had surgery. I almost wished I would have, like, I guess went to the surgery sooner, found someone for it more experienced in that area sooner. Because it was a lot of time and I mean money, kind of wasted to only know and I did mention surgery before to like other doctors, and they just didn't know much about it. Just a lot of people back in Indiana just did not know like how to really correct it, or even like what was going on in the foot. Like he saw right away. It almost seemed people were against the surgery is what we were more getting.
Well, how did it feel going into surgery?
It felt scary, but I knew that it would correct my foot. So it wasn't that scared. It was kind of scary going back there, but once it was done, all that worrying was for nothing.
So after the surgery, obviously we'll be in a cast, keep it dry, clean, and intact. You'll see me in the office in 2 weeks. We'll take it off, put her back in another cast. We give a prescription for the pain meds, so make sure you take that 4 hours after you leave, and then right when you go.
4 hours after.
I'll show you how to get to the waiting room. Okay, thanks, Nadia.
See, Lisa, I think you want to be
A lot of families are confused about when to have the surgery with their kids because their kids go to school. Everybody's busy. But you guys went and just did it. Middle of the school year, How did you talk and come to the conclusion, let's do this now versus waiting until summer vacation to get her feet done? How did you say, no, we're going to do it now because now she's riding to school, am I right?
Yeah.
How did all that fit into your lifestyle?
It was a big adjustment, but I think we were at the point, like, the sooner the better. We just wanted to get this done as soon as possible because, we were told, like, over time, being on your toes could, like, affect the hips and the spine and other areas. And there was other areas in the foot being affected. She did have accessory soleus as well that he removed, which was one of the reasons it was structural.
Going to school with the scooter was different, but it was getting used to, but it wasn't that big of an adjustment. I couldn't really go on the playground much, but I still did other really fun things in my classroom, so it wasn't much to me. And eventually I'll get out of it, then I'll be flat, then no more people would be asking me, why do you walk on your tippy toes? Why do you walk on your tippy toes?
This looks really messed up with these gloves.
We're going to show it. Are you? All right, let me put time now.
Do it.
Just an interesting fact here, but she's got we call accessory. You grab that right up there. The accessory is that there's an extra tendon right here that creates this anomaly. Just showing how good that ankle looks. It's a wonderful procedure because she was stuck like this, and now passively she can easily go to 90. And there's still adhesions around the ankle, and that just over the next couple months, these will relax out and she'll get even more range of motion. So she has a functional foot now. So it's amazing.
Two more pumpkins to bake. Drape down, total please.
Outside looks good.
Again, this cast goes on. That's just to hold the correction as your Achilles tendon and all the soft tissues want to heal up over the next 4 weeks. Yep.
So it was 2 weeks in the cast, and then she got it changed to another cast. So 4 weeks total with the cast. And then after that, it was like 4 weeks in the boot. And then after the 4 weeks, you could take the boot off and just try to walk like without it normal. Which we had her go without it, but we'd still had her, if she felt like it was still a little sore at school, use the boot.
My heels sometimes hurt if I walk like a lot because I think I'm just like not used to like being on my heel because I was always on my tippy toes. But soon enough, it doesn't hurt much anymore.
I was surprised after the cast was off and she was able to go in the walking boot. I just don't want other parents to be like, oh no, like, because as soon as they go in the walking boot, it is like, wow, they're really having a hard time walking. But within the week, there was such a huge difference, like of her being able to like get going quicker and walking flat and less pain. And within a couple of weeks, there was a huge difference where like I was like, okay, this is going really good, like a lot better than I think we both like thought it would be.
It for sure was scary at first, but then once you get to know your surroundings now, it gets even easier and easier every day.
Hi, this is Blair's mom. First, I want to say thank you to Dr. Jarman for making this journey successful for Blair. I will say his staff and his office has been great from start to finish. The follow-ups, following up, and just the whole process has made it easy and successful for Blair. So thank you. I would say, compared to when we first walked into Dr. Jarman's office to now, it is a complete transformation. Before, she was not able to get her heel on the ground. She was walking very high on her tippy toes, and now she's walking completely flat. So, complete 180, and he did exactly what we were hoping would be done and more. So we were very, very happy with the results and are very glad that we came across Dr. Jarman and followed through with it, going with him. I would say though to any parents that are wondering what to do with either son or daughter who is walking on their tippy toes, don't wait around any longer. I wish that we would have come across Dr. Jarman a long time ago. I think, there's a lot of extra things. I don't want to say like wasted, but, where if we would have found him a long time ago, we could have got her tippy toe correcting done a long time ago. But I thought she was almost to the point where it was just going to have so much effects, like negative for like other stuff or other things going on with her foot, which there was a lot to it. She was a very extensive case, and he was able to completely correct everything. I didn't know for sure if she would be walking completely flat. I thought maybe it'd be close to the ground, but I mean, her heel is down the whole way, and I never thought I would maybe see her walk flat. So she is now looking, how you would walking flat, and I am very pleased with the results. And I would say to other parents, it is hard to find someone very specialized in this and can correct it the way that has been done for Blair. I highly, highly, highly recommend Dr. Jarman. I'm just so thankful that we did go to him, and he, within like a couple minutes of looking at the x-ray, he knew exactly what to do, and any other places I've been did not. So I would say if you do have a tippy toe walker, go see Dr. Jarman. So thank you, Dr. Jarman.